All right, folks, we got something extra special for you right now. We're going to spend some time with Social Distortion. The buzz is real big on this band right now. They've got a new album out called Somewhere Between Heaven and Hell. They're going on tour this May, and we've got a Bad Luck, the buzz clip that's been out for a while. It is totally killing. But we spent some time with Mike and Dennis, shot a little pool, found out what was up with them since their days as a punk band, doing Mommy's Little Monster, what they've been doing now, kind of like where their mindset is. They're just two of the coolest guys you'll ever meet. So let's meet Mike Ness and Dennis Donnell from Social Distortion.
We started out as a garage band, and back then the music we were listening to was the Pistols and the Clash and the New York bands, the LA bands, the San Francisco bands, and you know, we draw from our American roots, which is you know, some early folk music, depression, blues, you know, white country, black R&B, the two being mixed together and forming, you know, rockabilly and rock and roll. And people ask us, what do you sound like? I said, well, it's kind of like if Hank Williams got in a car wreck with the Ramones. What do I want to hit?
Anything. Isn't it open? How would you say the new record compares as far as sound? Was it like made the same way with the same ideas?
Yeah, but I think it's a little more focused for us. I mean, we reached a comfortable level of those influences we were just talking about, letting them all come out equally.
I mean, how do you feel about, you know, people just kind of begging for the old stuff?
On our new tour that's starting in April, we're going to be, you know, drawing from all of our albums equally and trying to do, you know, a whole retrospect of all our material on it, you know, so we'll give you a little bit of everything.
This is Cutthroat Part 2 here.
13's my lucky number.
Do you think that today there's as much to be angry about as when punk first started?
When we wrote Mommy's Little Monster, I was 19.
Yeah.
And it's like I was writing against rebelling against mom and dad and the cops and all, you know, anti-government or anti-society, basically. That's what was happening then, you know. Nowadays, a lot of those aren't really issues with me, but there are things that can definitely get me as angry.
The sort of emotion of punk is still there, but, you know, the subject matter is a little different,
I mean,
and, you know.
I mean, when we started out, the whole punk thing was about individualism, and we'd go to a show, the Cramps would be playing, the Go-Go's were playing, they had dyed pink hair, you know, X. Every band was different. You know, by 1985, you had 50,000 garage bands who all sounded the same. And we didn't want to be a part of that, you know? I mean, Social Distortion's always kind of tried to ignore trends, you know, and you know, being not concerned with what's popular right now, because we're just doing our own thing. We have been for 12 years.
Basically, it comes back down to the music, you know. We wouldn't see ourselves doing anything else but music, and I think that's why we stuck around so long.
All right, there you have it. Mike and Dennis from Social Distortion. Of course, I beat them both in Cutthroat, and of course, they are not here to say that I didn't, so you believe that I did. Right now, though, we're going to get to a live performance from them. Actually, what they did was simulcast their live performance that they did at CBGB's on the big jumbo screen in Times Square. If you've ever seen that, people walking down the road. Mike Ness, larger than life. It was actually really cool. So we're going to let you see that live performance. I do want to say, though, you got to see Social D. They're coming out. They're going to be on the road in May, so you should go support them. You should support any of the bands that you've seen here on Buzzcut. You should call MTV, ask them to play these things more. Call your radio stations, buy the record, support the bands, because they definitely need your help. But enough of that. Let's just get to this. You see it on the screen there, Jumbo Vision, Mike Ness, all the tattoos. He is such a god. Let's just go to it right now. This is Social Distortion doing 1945 live from CBGB's.